Today we are going to create the unit circle. The unit circle means that the radius is the value of 1. So any radius connecting the center to the edge is the distance of 1. When creating the unit circle, we are going to focus on special right triangles that you should have done last year, but if not, we'll go over that again. And we're going to then find the coordinates that allow us to help us find the different trig functions without using a calculator. So the first thing we are going to focus on are the 45, 45, 90 triangles. If you have not gotten the blue triangles, pause the video right now and get those first. Now, I'm going to highlight this 45, 45, 90 triangle in blue so we're reminded that we're using those blue triangles. Now, when we have these triangles, right, your 45, 45 will come out of the center, just like this. Some triangles aren't going to hit the edge of the circle, but that's because of the way they were cut out. So, what I would like you to do first is, since we know that this is how the triangle lays, we know this measurement right here is a radius, so it is a value of 1. So I am going to put that down on our triangle right now. And we know, since these two angles are the same, that these two sides are the same. We can use the Pythagorean theorem to prove that these two sides would be the value of square root of 2 over 2. This is our special right triangle and its sides. If you want me to prove to you how we got that from last year, stop the video and call me over. But then what I want you to do is take all 4, because you should have 4 blue triangles, is I want you to label each piece. So we have 45, 45, okay, and our right angles there, side length of 1, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Take a moment right now and pause the video to do that to your triangles. Alright, let's look at our blank unit circle again. Remember that the radius distance is 1. So this coordinate is 1, 0. The top coordinate would be 0, 1. Negative 1, 0. And 0, negative 1. When we're doing with a unit circle, we have a circle is 360 degrees. So we are also going to label the degrees. So we start off right down here at 0 degrees. If we went a quarter of the triangle, if we went a quarter of the circle, we would go how many degrees? If we went half of the circle, how many degrees? 180. 3/4 of the circle be 270. And when we hit the end of the circle again, we are back at 360. So there will be 2 degrees and eventually 2 radians, when I talk about that later, at this coordinate. Alright, now I want you to take all of your blue triangles. The 45s will come up from the center. and the 90-degree angle will lie on the x-axis. We want to make sure we are lining them up properly before we glue them. Alright, when you glue them, be careful. Take your glue stick and you want to flip over the triangle and then put your glue on to be able to glue it back to its position. Make sure, again, you flip over your triangle, put your glue on, and put it back. If you put it out incorrectly, hurry up, take it off. You can grab a new one and fix that up. Take a moment right now, pause the video, and glue these on. Alright, there we go. Once you have them glued on, we're going to label the degrees and the coordinates. So, from 0, we have a 45-degree angle. So this is 45 degrees. That coordinate. This coordinate, if you look, is 45 degrees from 180, which makes it 135. We have another 45 from 180, making it 225. And another 45 degrees from 360, making it 315. Now let's label our coordinates. We have an x, comma, y. The x value of this coordinate is the square root of 2 over 2. And the y value is the square root of 2 over 2. For this coordinate, if you look, the x value goes to the left side. So the x value is negative, the y value goes up, so it is positive. So we are still going square root of 2 over 2, but our x value is negative, our y value is positive. You guys see a pattern coming? Down here, our x value is negative and our y value is negative. Still, square root of 2 over 2. And our last one here, our x value is to the right, so it's positive, but our y value goes down, so it's negative. So what is the purpose of this? Well, with our unit circle, our coordinates are actually the values of cosine, comma, sine. That means if I asked you at any time for any of these degrees, you can give me the exact value. Your calculator won't even give you the exact value. That would round. Example, if I said, what is cosine of 135 degrees? You can go to 135 degrees Your cosine is the first value of your coordinate. So your answer to me would be negative square root of 2 over 2. Same thing if I said, what is the value of sine 45 degrees? You go up to 45 degrees. Sine is your second part of the coordinate. So you would tell me it's square root of 2 over 2. We will be able to do this with tangent and the other 3 trig functions later, but for now we're just creating our circle. Alright, flip your papers over. We are going to focus on the 30, 60, 90 triangles. We're actually going to look at the yellow triangles first. So if you do not have your triangles, pause the video right now and go grab those. You need 4 of them. Just like our 45, 45, 90 triangles, we are going to label the side lengths first. So in this triangle, we have the radius of 1. The side across from 30 is 1/2, and the side across from 60 is the square root of 3 over 2. I want you to make sure that we look at your triangles, and as you can see, I can put it up here, making this the 30, 60, 1, 1/2, and square root of 3 over 2. What I would like you to do right now is pause the video and label all 4 of your triangles just like this. Okay, before you glue them down, make sure you place them correctly first. So we are going 30 degrees is what we're going to focus on. The pink ones are going to be your 60. So every 30 degrees. Okay, pause the video now and glue these down. Alright, so let's remember what we were graphing before. Remember, this was 0 and the coordinate was 1, 0. We had 90 degrees and that was 0, 1. We had 180 and that was negative 1, 0. And 270, and that was 0, negative 1. So these yellow triangles, we are focusing on the 30 degrees. See, each of the 30 degrees is coming off the middle of the triangle. So if we are coming off 30 degrees from 0, that makes this coordinate 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees coming off the 180. So if we go backwards 30 degrees, we have 150. This way we're going forward 30 degrees from 180. So we have 210. This one, remember this is also 360. So we go 360 going backwards 30 degrees and we get 330. Now let's put in our coordinates. X, y. The x value in this case is square root of 3 over 2. And the y value is 1/2. We look at this at 150. The x value is to the left, square root of 3 over 2, which makes it negative. And the 1/2 is still going up, so that is positive. Do you guys see this pattern right now? So the coordinate pair for 30 degrees off of your main x and y axis is square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, but then watch what quadrant you're in. So both of these are negative. Square root of 3 over 2 in this quadrant is positive and the 1/2 is negative. Let's remind ourselves. The coordinate pair goes cosine, comma, sine. So again, from before, I can ask you, what is cosine of 210 degrees? We would go to 210 degrees. Cosine is the first part of the coordinate, so you would tell me it is negative square root of 3 over 2. We're doing this without a calculator. Pause the video right now and see if you can get your pink triangles. Alright, so next I'm going to label our pink triangles. Our pink triangles are also the 30, 60, 90. So take your pink triangles right now and label them with their 30, 60, 90, just like we did the yellow ones. So pause that if you have to fill those out. Next, what we're going to do is put this on our unit circle, but we're focusing right now on the 60s instead of the 30. So we are actually going to glue these on top. And remember that our 60 degrees are coming out of the sides. So before you glue, it should look like this. Remember, flip it over, glue that side, put it down. Pause your video right now and glue those together. Alright, when you get those glued down, now let's label our 60. Remember, we're going 60 degrees. So from 0, full 60, right, this big like Pac-Man looking mouth, 60 degrees. Now, remember, with this 60 degrees, we are going from 180. So 180 minus 60 is 120. Since we're adding the 60 onto the 180, so we get 240. And here, we're subtracting the 60 from the 360, which is 300. Let's do our coordinates. So remember our x, comma, y. So our x value is 1/2, comma, square root of 3 over 2. You guys notice the difference between these two coordinates? They're switched. Very good. And so will the other coordinates along the way. We just need to keep track of our negatives and positives. So we have 1/2, comma, square root of 3 over 2. but our x value is negative in this quadrant. So it is negative 2. Let me make that more clear. Okay, negative 1/2. Down here, again, we have 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. In this quadrant, they both are negative. 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. And our y value is negative. Very good, guys. You just completed the unit circle. In future videos, we are going to learn how to use this going forwards and backwards, and we are also going to put our degrees into radians, different units that actually trig and calculus mostly use. If by any chance you again need me to prove special right triangles, because this is something you should have learned last year, just call me over and I will prove that to you. Thank you.